Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. This is another edition of IBFP's Boxing News, and we're just going to break down current events and topics from around the boxing world. So let's just dig right into it. Let's start off with Frank Warren has revealed that he's made an offer to Callum Smith's team for a unification with Billy Joe Saunders. He wants the WBA and WBO super middleweight champions to meet on a 50-50 deal. They plan for Billy Joe Saunders to return in September regardless if he gets the fight or not. And this is according to IFL TV. Now, when you break down this fight and look at this fight, this is a fantastic fight, and obviously Callum Smith's team is waiting for Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez is going to entertain him taking a fight in September, fighting him, or is Canelo Alvarez going to go towards a Triple G? That's really going to depend on what Canelo Alvarez picks. I'm sure Callum Smith would love the unification with Billy Joe Saunders, but that's only if he doesn't get the Canelo Alvarez fight. Canelo Alvarez fight will be his highest financial fight, his most watched, most viewed, his worldwide recognition fight. So the Canelo Alvarez fight for Callum Smith would mean everything. A Billy Joe Saunders fight is the next best thing. It would be a unification fight, and it would also be a fight against a bigger name and on a bigger stage to prove his, how good he truly is. I would slightly favor Callum Smith against Billy Joe Saunders, but against Canelo Alvarez, I would have to favor Canelo. So, this could be Billy Joe Saunders' way of as well if he feels he can beat Callum Smith, and he has the skill set to, to get in there and possibly even pull it off. And if he does pull it off, then that will definitely attract the likes of a Canelo Alvarez fighting a unified champion at 168. So no matter who wins this fight, it looks like Canelo wins. But that's just the first story. Let's just keep it going. Deontay Wilder has stated, and this is according to BoxingScene.com, that he's still going to fight Anthony Joshua. He sees no reason why not to. He realizes that Anthony Joshua, contrary to all these fanboys and LDBC fanboys and most of the biased media, is that Anthony Joshua is still an elite fighter. He's still a top-level fighter, and he's still a better fighter than anyone Deontay Wilder has on his resume. And just because, Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz doesn't mean Deontay Wilder could beat him. At the end of the day, if you know boxing and you're not a casual, you understand that styles truly do make fights, and you never know what can happen in a rematch between Ruiz and Joshua. Be honest and unbiased. But let's keep it going. According to Sky Sports News, Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua rematch will have all three of the world titles on the line, the WBA, IBF, and WBO. And this is according to Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports News. Basically, the governing bodies have no issues, and they will support and endorse this fight, and they will not call a mandatory to force the new champion to vacate. So they will support that. And other news, according to Boxing News 24, Dillian White, in regards to Anthony Joshua's loss to Andy Ruiz, he states that something's not right with Anthony Joshua. He's never seen him perform like that. And, that's an interesting tidbit because, a lot of people feel like something was off with Anthony Joshua. I think it was a little bit of both. I think that Andy Ruiz was just a puzzle and hard for Anthony Joshua to figure out. We have to give Andy Ruiz full credit, whether something was bothering Anthony Joshua or not, because he stepped in, he was prepared, he did what he was supposed to do, and that's all you can ask. As of right now, in my opinion, Andy Ruiz is a special fighter and now a top-tier heavyweight, and he's a unified champion of the world. But at the same time, I can't ignore the obvious that Anthony Joshua did seem a little bit off, seem a little bit disturbed or bothered coming out of the locker room. And, his body language seems to tell the story. But we won't know until further information comes out. Let's keep it going. Also, in regards to DAZN, and according to ESPN, Jose Ramirez versus Maurice Hooker is reportedly on the verge of being finalized for July 27th at the College Park Center in Arlington, Texas. The WBC and WBO super lightweight title unification will officially be on DAZN. I think this is a fantastic fight, and I think this is the type of fight that, will attract a big name because, you'll get a unified champion. You have top ranks Jose Ramirez and you have DAZN's Maurice Hooker. And so if Maurice Hooker wins this fight, you can see that regardless of what happens with Mikey Garcia, they've already offered to fight with Mikey Garcia and Maurice Hooker once. But if Maurice Hooker becomes a unified champion of the world and he beats Jose Ramirez, they're going to offer that fight at 140 to Mikey Garcia for not one belt, but two belts on DAZN. That'll be a fantastic fight. With Jose Ramirez being on top rank, I don't know if they would offer that fight to Mikey Garcia because of their history. But at the end of the day, either way, unifications make sense. But let's just keep it going. With Triple G, Steve Rolls, that's going to be an interesting fight. Triple G's new cut of physique, people are wondering what's going on, and I believe it's just his training regimen getting better, and with the new trainer taking it serious and taking his loss against Canelo Alvarez very hard. He's dedicated to become a new fighter. But once again, Unbiased as always, is the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.